If you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, then give it a thumbs up and leave your comments below about what your experiences are of using this video. And also, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and the bell button near the subscribe button so that you can be kept informed when future videos like this go live. As you listen to this and begin to drift comfortably asleep, so my voice can go with you in the background, and you don't have to pay any real attention to my voice as you drift comfortably asleep. My voice can just be there in the background, and so you can take a moment to close your eyes and begin to relax. And as you begin to relax, you can have a sense of lying on a tropical beach on some white, beautiful sand. And the sun is just beginning to set in the distance, and the sand is still warm, and you can feel the warmth of the sand in your fingers. When you reach and touch that sand, you can feel the sensation of the grains of sand on your hand, the sensation of the grains of sand flowing through your fingers. And notice how the sand just below the surface is so wonderful and cool as it just flows through your fingertips. And as you relax on this beach, with the light taking on a beautiful hue, you can notice the calm lapping of the water on the shore, crystal clear water on the shore. You can notice the bird sounds changing in the distance as the sun slowly begins to set. And you can notice way off over the horizon the tops of some storm clouds. Way off across the ocean, over that horizon, you notice those storm clouds and some flickering light. And notice how there is just silence, how none of the sound from that storm is reaching the beach. You just gaze over there and there's silence, and you find that very mesmerizing, compelling, as you gaze over there at those clouds with the dancing light, the other side of the water, where here that water is so calm and still. Here the air is so calm and still. Here, there is just peace, calmness, stillness.
and the water is just so gently lapping on the shore. And there's that storm without a sound off in the distance. That's it. And you notice as the sun sets, the way that the light of the sun glistens and sparkles and shimmers and shines on the surface of the water. You notice the stretching of the shadows. And you begin to notice the sounds of crickets in the distance and other nighttime sounds while the birds begin to go to sleep, while monkeys begin to go to sleep, while other animals begin to go to sleep. And how the air temperature changes just slightly, gets slightly cooler, and you can breathe that fresh air in. That's it. And you notice as the sun sets that some stars appear in the sky, and that other than that storm way over there in the distance, the sky where you are is perfectly clear. And you light a little fire on the beach to just keep you warm as the sun sets. You can notice the dancing flames, the crackling sound of the wood, that smell of a bonfire. And you can feel mesmerized by the dancing flames. And gaze off, listening to that crackling. And as minutes turn into hours, and the sun has set below the horizon, you can notice there's still a glow where the sun's just below the horizon. And you notice as the hours move on, how that storm has moved slightly closer. You can now see some of the lightning strikes striking the water way off in the distance. As you see thousands of flashes of light happening over there, and yet there's still silence from that direction. And you notice as the flashes strike the water, that the water glows and lights up, and that light dances on the surface of the water. And you can see how that storm in the distance is a bit closer than it was, but it's still heading across in front of the island rather than towards you. And so you know it's going to pass you by as you just watch that storm off in the distance out to sea. That's it. And as you lie there on that beach, by that fire, on that golden, beautiful white sand that seems to be reflecting that golden light of the sun, of the fire there. That's it. As the sun's now fully set below the horizon, you can gaze at the blanket of stars above you. And you have a little shelter on the beach by the fire to tuck yourself into, that'll keep you warm and dry and safe, whatever the weather. And you have the most comfortable sleeping bag, and you tuck yourself inside your shelter, listening to the crackling fire, gazing out over that storm, just taking in the moment. That's it. And after a while, as you see that storm now passing off the other side, back off into the distance, having passed by in front of you, you can begin to fall asleep. And as you fall asleep, you try to keep your eyes open for a while, just keeping an eye on that fire as it burns down to embers, as you fall asleep comfortably. Before your eyes just close and you fall asleep comfortably. Awakening in the morning, feeling refreshed to the sounds of birds, the sounds of the ocean, and although the fire looks like it's out now, there's still some warmth coming off that fire, and you feel refreshed. You've awoken nice and early and you feel refreshed. And you exit your shelter and walk in that sand, feeling the sand beneath your feet, breathing in that fresh air, feeling the warmth of the early morning sun. Taking a moment to walk down to the shore, to walk down to the water's edge, and noticing what it feels like, how the sand changes as you walk closer to the water's edge, and that sand is more damp, and then walking into the water, noticing the feeling of the water around your feet. And that sloshing sound as you walk through the water. And then you walk a little deeper into the water, up to about your waist height. Lower yourself in and just begin to swim. And you feel that water around your neck, around your chin. As you push through the water with your arms and kick through the water with your legs. And swim for a while, enjoying that floating weightlessness, the warmth of the water, the smell of the water, the warmth of the morning sun as it begins to rise, noticing the blue of the sky, the sounds around you, what it feels like to be swimming in this water. That's it. And then after having a swim for a while, you exit the water, noticing the coolness now because of your wet skin. But as you dry out quickly in the sun, you walk up the beach. And you restart that fire. You make yourself some breakfast. You take some time to enjoy your breakfast while you enjoy being one with nature, being out here, listening to the world around you, feeling the world around you, seeing the world around you. And then starting a day, going exploring, climbing some trees, having a wander around. And as the day begins to turn to night, so you begin again to go back to your little camp, make sure the fire is lit, and get into your shelter. And as the evening draws on, so you snuggle down in the shelter, wrapped up warm and comfortable, and allow yourself to drift comfortably off asleep. That's it. Drifting comfortably off asleep.